Hi, welcome to our garden in August. We've had all our lettuces now, they were really successful. The nasturtiums that we've got left are really healthy. We've given them a feed, we've cleaned out the box that they're in a little bit as well, which has helped. They're really healthy now. And we've got one nasturtium left in here, and some of theirs growing as well. And I'm going to plant some cress. Now, this is just plain cress. You can either grow it in the plastic trays that you get with from the supermarket with your tomatoes or whatever you've got in them until it germinates, or you can grow it in soil and it will grow to about 6 inches tall, and at which point it's often called land cress, and it's a delicious all-round salad vegetable that you can even grow in the winter indoors or maybe covered with fleece. I'm going to sow the cress seeds in the box, and I've already made a couple of channels, and we just cover it over then and water it. There's a lot of seeds in this packet. I'm going to sow them fairly finely though. I'll keep a bit of space between they and the nasturtium. So these should just about do the 2 channels. Actually, I'm going to do a 3rd channel. I'll just cover them over like this, gently. You can also do them in shallow soil about 3 inches deep as well. I'm going to put some of these rotted down eggshells, sprinkle around. This keeps the pests away. We had a problem the last week or so. The weather's been a bit rainy and we had some stuff that completely got eaten by the slugs and snails when they crawled up the table during the night, and the radishes ended up being stripped bare of leaves. The weather conditions haven't been quite right for the radishes this year. The weather's been a bit unpredictable. Some days we've had really hot weather, then we've had wet weather, and they don't really respond very well to such changes in temperature. I've still got quite a lot of cress seeds left. I'll probably do some indoors as well. I have these mixed lettuce cut and grow. So I get these off eBay. Lots of different varieties there. And they're just so delicious. I'm going to sow some of these in here. You can grow these all year round, which is the beauty of them. Although sometimes the single variety do better during the winter. But you can really grow anything as long as it's covered with fleece to keep it warm and away from the frost. These will get thinned out. I'm not going to sow many more than these. This should be enough. So again, cover them over gently. These should start to do something in the next couple of weeks. And then I'm going to spread some more eggshells over these as well. You can do it fairly liberally. And again, water them in. These are what we've got at the moment in terms of the herbs. The lavender now needs pruning hard back to allow it to flourish, otherwise it will be more leggy than it has been this year. The flowers have more or less died off, so this is an ideal time to get as much of the woody parts off as possible before the autumn, which could come in the next few weeks. And the rosemary is starting to do a bit better. We have fed it. There's still a little bit of yellow here and there, but we'll keep giving that a bit of TLC. There's a redo there, can come out. And we have the thyme. And then the oregano is doing really well as well. That's thriving. And that's been delicious in stews and soups already. We've used some of it. Oh, it smells amazing. Really good. So if you want to know what it's like, just rub the leaves like that and give it a sniff. This is the quince tree, of course. It's doing really well now. The leaves look in really good condition. There's been times when it's looked slightly dry and I've watered it to keep it going, but it's growing beautifully right now. It's the perfect climate right now for it. The temperature's just right. It likes that temperate climate, which is what we have at the moment. And these are so nice lit up at night. These are our solar lights, and we've got the little bird box there. Yesterday I saw lots of little birdies flying around outside as well. It was really sweet. And this has done its job now. It's getting a bit late to pick. I mean, there is still quite a lot, but we're going to leave it now just to flourish and do its thing until next year. Over here, the beetroot, some of this might be ready to pick, and also some of the little carrots. This is a cute little one, and this looks hopeful. This one, dig very carefully so you don't want to damage them. Beautiful. These are a special variety. They look like little bulbs, and there's this beauty here as well. And this one looks like it's ready. And we've got one here. We usually only pick as many as we need. This looks like it's done. They come out quite easily when they're ready, actually. That one's a dud. This one's little. This came out. And those. And that should be enough for now. These are the beetroot. Oh, there's one here. This would be a good one to pick. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I also see another one down here that would be just right to pick. They're ready because they're coming out really easily. Look at that. Isn't that a beauty? These are the heritage beetroot. As you can see, they're a different shade. These are, I think, golden beetroot, these ones. And they're absolutely gorgeous. Grated, raw in salads. The taste is just amazing. I love them. And here we've got this one. It's only small, but this is a red beetroot. It was ready for pulling though because it was stuck up half above the surface. It's a bit damaged, but half of it's edible. And we'll see if there's anything else. No, but leave those for the time being. This one, this is ready. Again, it's another golden one. Look at that. These will be amazing. I'll see if there's anything else. That one's a white beetroot. It's been a bit attacked, but again we can cut the bad parts off and eat the rest. And this one here, this one's ready. It's only small, but it's not going to grow much bigger. And this one is ready as well. And we'll leave it at that. That's done really well. That's your typical red beetroot. The black raspberries, they're expended for this year now. We've picked everything. That was a cabbage white butterfly. We've had a lot of beautiful butterflies this year in the garden. Cabbage whites, a few tortoiseshells, but a lot of red admirals. It's because we had a warmer winter apparently. I was reading about it. And the beans and peas, they're not going to do much more now. We've picked a lot. I think there's one plant that could do something still, but they need pulling up now. These are the tomatoes, they're doing really well, and the courgette. The tomatoes here are going to be these plum tomatoes. They're going to be fantastic. I can't wait for those to ripen. And then this is the kale. Now I might pick some of this. So which one would you like me to pick? This one? That's a monster. monster, kale monster. Do we need any more? No. Not right now. That's going to last us through the winter. It's gone bonkers. We've got a few brambles here.
They're
Wow.
blackberries, yeah.
These are nice, aren't they? These blackberries.
There's some more over this side.
We'll be picking those. They're lovely. We'll be picking those.
Yes.
These have had their season. We didn't get any white currants this year, but the red currants were good. I've still got some in the freezer. And then in here, we've had to cut back our tomato plants. They've gone bonkers and they weren't thriving much, because the problem is when they keep growing and growing and growing, they've got more and more flowers and more leaves. The nutrients start to become stripped out and they don't have enough nutrients and they don't grow very well. We picked a tomato earlier. That's the only one that's ripe enough. We've had 2 others as well. Last week when Dan's mum was here we had those. But they are starting to ripen at last. That's going to be a nice one. The main thing is to try and keep the watering system fairly even, otherwise it can get blossom end rot, like this one has a little bit. There's been a lot of changes in temperature and it can affect them. So this is still edible, you just chop the bottom off. You can eat it as normal, but we've taken some of the flowers off the top and they should start to grow a lot better now, and they should ripen a lot easier as well. Now there's more light to them. And our little plant here, our pepper plant, wasn't doing much either. There's a little one there. They were completely covered by these tomato triffids. And that, as I say, is our garden in August.